The House will be in order. For what purpose does the gentleman from Ohio seek recognition?
Speaker, pursuant to Clause 2A1 of Rule 9, I rise to give notice of my intent to raise a question of the privileges of the House.
The gentleman may proceed to give notice.
The form of the resolution, Mr. Speaker, is House Resolution 828, impeaching John Andrew Koskinen, Commissioner of the Internal Revenue Service, for high crimes and misdemeanors. You might want to listen to what we say first, then you can moan or groan. Resolved that John Andrew Koskinen, Commissioner of the Internal Revenue Service, is impeached for high crimes and misdemeanors, and that the following articles of impeachment be exhibited to the Senate. Articles of impeachment exhibited by the House of Representatives of the United States of America in the name of itself and of the people of the United States of America against John Andrew Koskinen, Commissioner of the Internal Revenue Service, in maintenance and support.
Speaker, the House is not in order.
The gentleman will suspend. The gentleman is correct. The House is not in order. The House will be in order. Members will please remove your conversation from the House floor. The House will be in order. I was recognized.
In maintenance and support of its impeachment against him for high crimes and misdemeanors. Article 1. John Andrew Koskinen, in his conduct while Commissioner of the Internal Revenue Service, engaged in a pattern of conduct that is incompatible with the duties as an officer of the United States as follows. Commissioner Koskinen failed in his duty to respond lawfully to issued congressional subpoenas. On August 2, 2013, the Committee on Oversight and Government Reform of the House of Representatives issued a subpoena to the Secretary of the Treasury, Jacob Lew, the custodian of Internal Revenue Service documents. The subpoena demanded, among other things, quote, all communications sent or received by Lois Lerner from January 1, 2009 to August 2, 2013. On February 14, 2014, following the Senate's confirmation of John Andrew Koskinen as Commissioner of the Internal Revenue Service, the Committee on Oversight and Government Reform of the House of Representatives reissued that same subpoena to him. On March 4, 2014, Internal Revenue Service employees in Martinsburg, West Virginia, magnetically erased 422 backup tapes, destroying as many as 24,000 of Lois Lerner's emails that were responsive to that subpoena. This action impeded congressional investigations into the Internal Revenue Service targeting of Americans based on their political affiliation. The American people may never know the true culpability or extent of the Internal Revenue Service's targeting because of the destruction of evidence that took place. Wherefore, John Andrew Koskinen, by such conduct, warrants impeachment and trial and removal from office. Article 2. John Andrew Koskinen engaged in a pattern of deception that demonstrates his unfitness to serve as Commissioner of the Internal Revenue Service. Commissioner Koskinen made a series of false and misleading statements to Congress in contravention of his oath to tell the truth. Those false statements included the following. Number 1, on June 20, 2014, Commissioner Koskinen testified that since the start of this investigation, every email has been preserved, nothing has been lost, nothing has been destroyed. 2, on June 23, 2014, Commissioner Koskinen testified that the Internal Revenue Service has confirmed that backup tapes from 2011 no longer existed because they have been recycled pursuant to the Internal Revenue Service normal policy. He went on to explain, confirmed means that somebody went back and looked and made sure that, in fact, any backup tapes that had existed had been recycled. 3, on March 26, 2014, Commissioner Koskinen was asked during a hearing before the Committee on Oversight and Government Reform of the House of Representatives, sir, are you or are you not going to provide this committee all of Lois Lerner's emails? He answered, yes, we will do that. Each of those statements was materially false. On March 4, 2014, Internal Revenue Service employees magnetically erased 422 backup tapes containing as many as 24,000 of Lois Lerner's emails. On February 2, 2014, senior Internal Revenue Service officials discovered that Lois Lerner's computer hard drive had crashed, rendering hundreds or thousands of her emails unrecoverable. Commissioner Koskinen's false statements impeded and confused congressional into the IRS targeting of Americans based on their political affiliation. Wherefore, John Andrew Koskinen, by such conduct, warrants impeachment and trial and removal from office. Article 3. John Andrew Koskinen, throughout his tenure as Commissioner of the Internal Revenue Service, has acted in a manner inconsistent with the trust and confidence placed in him as an officer of the United States as follows. During his confirmation hearing before the Senate Committee on Finance, John Andrew Koskinen promised, "We will be transparent about any problems we run into, and the public and certainly this committee will know about those problems as soon as we do." Commissioner Koskinen repeatedly violated that promise. As early as February 2014 and no later than April 2014, he was aware that a substantial portion of Lois Lerner's emails could not be produced to Congress. However, in a March 19, 2014 letter to Senator Wyden of the Senate Committee on Finance, Commissioner Koskinen said, "We are transmitting today additional information that we believe completes our production to your committee and the House and Ways and Means Committee. In light of those productions, I hope that the investigations can be concluded in the very near future." At the time he sent that letter, he knew that document production was not complete. Commissioner Koskinen did not notify Congress of any problem until 2 months later, June 13, 2014, when he included the information on the 5th page of the 3rd enclosure of a letter to the Senate Committee on Finance. Wherefore, John Andrew Koskinen, by such conduct, warrants impeachment and trial and removal from office. Article 4. John Andrew Koskinen has failed to act with competence and rightness in overseeing the investigation into the Internal Revenue Service targeting of Americans based on their political affiliations as follows. Commissioner Koskinen stated in a hearing on June 20, 2014, that the Internal Revenue Service has gone to great lengths to retrieve all of Lois Lerner's emails. Commissioner Koskinen's actions contradicted the assurances he gave Congress. The Treasury Inspector General for Tax Administration found over 1,000 of Lois Lerner's emails that the IRS had failed to produce. Those discoveries took only 15 days of investigation to uncover. The Treasury Inspector General for Tax Administration searched a number of available sources, including disaster backup tapes, Lois Lerner's BlackBerry, the email server, backup tapes for the email server, and Lois Lerner's temporary replacement laptop. The Internal Revenue Service failed to examine any of those sources in their own investigation. Wherefore, John Andrew Koskinen, by such conduct, warrants impeachment, trial, and removal from office. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The gentleman is recognized to offer the resolution at this time.
Mr. Speaker, I offer this resolution, House Resolution 828, for consideration by the full House.